The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Mason Fire District number 4 on your new apparatus, job number 30648. Please utilize this job number when referencing your vehicle with Hughes Fire Equipment. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Let's start down at the front bumper. In the center, mounted 2 tow hooks. Moving over to the driver's side bumper, you'll find your electronic siren. Moving up onto the right and left side is your headlight cluster, housing the high and low beam, and also your turn indicator. Located in the grille, you'll find a forward-facing emergency lights. Located on the top of the hood is the pull handle to open your hood. And on the driver's side, you'll find your air entrance for your engine. Also located at the top, you'll find your running lights, and also at the very top, you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Here's a close-up of the top of your apparatus with the light bar in addition with those running lights. Let's move now down to the side of your apparatus. You have a side right and left side emergency warning light. There are also turn indicators on the top of the fender well. Looking at the side view of the cab, you'll find the pull handle for the door open and locking mechanism. There is also a side grab handle. Located in the front is the latch to release the hood on the right and left side. At the very bottom of the mirror is a convexed portion, and at the top portion a flat section of your mirror. Moving down onto the step area, you'll find your fuel tank. This is diesel fuel. And in the blue cap, you'll find your DEF fill location. Looking inside the cab, you'll find a variety of warning and caution labels on the door. Also, caution labels regarding slip hazard when entering and exiting the vehicle. Located down on the lower right corner, you'll find your master battery switch. Up on the seat section, just below the seat, you'll find a yellow Pierce manufactured label. This label houses information regarding the date of manufacture, the job number listed for your vehicle from Pierce Manufacturing, gross vehicle weight ratings, tire speed maximum speed limit. Also down at the lower section, you'll find the VIN number of your vehicle. And on the left-hand side of this placard, you'll find additional information regarding the fluid types and amounts for each individual portion of your apparatus. Generalized view looking inside the cab of your apparatus. We'll go ahead and look overhead of the operator seat. Directly overhead of the operator seat, you'll find first emergency master, lower zone, rear zone, and also your siren horn selector, and also future switches. Just to the right of that, you'll find a rear scene switch, several future locations for additional switches, and your siren control. Looking onto the dash, you'll find your air inlet gauge. Moving down, you'll find your Allison transmission pad. You'll find a variety of green indicators, yellow and red. These are all indicators, not switches. You'll also find your maxi brakes, push in to apply the brake, pull out, your PTO shift, and climate control. Located on the top of the dash, you'll find your pump PTO switch, high idle switch, alarm reset, moving down to the next set of switches below, you'll find your regen switches, mirror heat, interaxle and differential lock, future location for switches, in addition with your Pierce seatbelt information. Generalized view here of the side of the pump panel, midship. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner, first with this latch, which allows you to gain access behind the panel. Moving up to the very top, this is your master pump discharge gauge. Moving down beneath that, you'll find your pump intake. To the right of that, you'll find a test vacuum and pressure ports. Moving up, you're in blue. This is your water level for your tank. Panel switches. This is your pump boss for pressure and throttle control of your pump. Down at the very bottom in the black, this is an audible alarm. An indicator indicating that it's okay to pump if illuminated. Upper right hand corner in red is your foam level for the tank. And just beneath that is your Husky control for your foam system. Down in the lower section here, there are several valves. First, this is your number 1 crosslay in yellow. In red, the number 1 driver side discharge. In orange, the number 2 passenger side discharge. Moving all the way over to the tank fill recirculating line. Moving down to the next discharge, your number 2 crosslay in white. Your engine cooler, this is a twist, not a pull. Your large diameter passenger side discharge in green. Your tank to pump. The primer switch for your fire pump. And next to it is an informational guide regarding RPMs required to utilize the fire pump primer. Down in the next section, you'll find an additional 2.5-inch discharge, large diameter intake with a screen. Moving down, you'll find your plug-in for your Shore Power Auto Eject. Just beneath that, you'll find a warning label regarding pressurized caps and hazards associated with those. An air inlet chuck. 2.5-inch auxiliary inlet. Your 3-position foam lever. Pump drain. Just beneath the pump drain, you'll find an access door. We'll cover the contents of those access door later, although this contains your foam lever. Down in the lower corner, you'll find a warning regarding caps that are pressurized and the hazards associated. Underneath the panel, you'll find additional drain valves that are independently labeled and also color-coded. Back up onto the top, you'll find your hose divider, in addition with your pump for your foam system. Ladder rack on the driver's side. Down in the very first compartment upper section, you'll find your Shore Power battery charger and 12-volt outlet plugs. SCBA bottle storage with straps. Moving to the rear of the apparatus, you'll find your cluster housing your turn, brake, reverse, and backup lights. Also up onto the rear of the tank near the ladder, you'll find additional warning and hazard labels. At the very top, you'll find backup lights, rear scene lights. Moving down to the bottom, this is going to be your master rear discharge. Moving up to the top on each right and left side, you have additional warning lights. Moving down to the base, you can see that there is a 2.5-inch inlet. On the opposite side, there's also an additional 2.5-inch inlet plug.
On each right and left-hand sides of the apparatus, you'll find hose storage. Moving up onto the top of the apparatus, you'll find your top tank fill for water. You'll also find a rear-facing work light. Top view of the cross lays, 2 cross lays in the front, additional storage, and also your foam pump. Additional hose storage on the top next to your tank inlet for fill. Generalized view here of the side of the apparatus. Looking into the compartment in the rear, you'll find a roll-up door for compartment storage. Moving forward to that location, you'll find additional between both axles an emergency warning light and also bottle storage location. An additional roll-up door. Also notice the exhaust. There is also information here regarding hot exhaust in the parking location for which that exhaust could expose items to. On the pump panel side, you'll find an access door at the top and work light. Moving down from that location, you'll find your large diameter discharge. Moving further down with the screen, you'll find your large diameter pump intake, a 2.5-inch discharge, your labeled drains across the bottom that are color coded. Moving up to the top, an additional label here regarding pressurized caps and hazards associated with that. Generalized view here of the side of the pump and also the front section of the cab. As we move inward, at all points of access, you'll find the warning labels. Located on the floorboard, you'll find your electronic siren. And then looking overhead in the passenger seat, you'll find your radio and additional overhead lighting. Congratulations, Mason Fire District Number 4, Washington, on your new apparatus, job number 30648. If you have any questions, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.